Imagine you live in a neighborhood, small neighborhood, and then you live next to a noisy neighbor. After a while, you have the courage to confront your neighbor. When you are confronting your neighbor open his door, and then you see he is not alone, but he's actually with his brother, and his brother is a police. Now you have the dilemma that should you confront him or not? Well, what you do, you're actually calling your brother that's actually a soldier, and then right now what is happening is you have your brother that actually a soldier in your side, and your neighbor have his brother that is actually a police in his side. So today we'll be talking about this situation. Hello, my name is Andrey Kotambunan. I'm a student from the Christian University of Indonesia, majoring international relations. And today we'll be discussing this situation based on this book. This is a book written by one of my lecturer, Mr. Arthuur Jeverson Maya, and the title is actually Intrusif System and Sovereignty. So, in our discussion, we'll be dividing our discussion into several subtopics, into three subtopics. First will be the intrusive system itself, and then after that, the implication of intrusive system. Next will be my opinion or my argument regarding the intrusive system. In this intrusive system, stated by Cantoni and Spiegel, the most important thing that become the keyword is actually intervention. Now, an intervention based on the book itself, it created two different result. First will be stability, second will be instability. Oh, and by the way, since it's mandatory, so I need to show that this book actually signed by the mighty Mr. Arthur Jefferson Maya. There you go. So when we're talking about intrusive system, the keyword is actually intervention, and then after that, a region, and then after that, stability, instability, stabilize, destabilize, and then after that, major countries. Also, in book, it's actually written peripheral countries, things like that. Intervention, instability. Well, in that case, let's talk about my T-shirt over here. There you go. So it's actually a PT shirt or a physical training shirt from the United States Army. And yes, when we're talking about intervention, we cannot negate the existence of the United States itself. Now, if we critically examine the implication of the intrusive system within the context of the South China Sea disputes, it explores the persistent territorial tensions among claimant states such as China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei, highlighting the absence of open armed conflict despite overlapping sovereignty claims and significant military assertiveness. This phenomenon is attributed to the presence of an intrusive system characterized by the active involvement of major powers, superpower country, particularly the United States and also China, which fosters a balance of power and function as a deterrent against escalation. The intrusive system operates through complex multilateral and bilateral agreements, military interventions, and economic collaboration, which collectively contribute to regional stability. However, the ongoing disputes are underpinned by divergent sovereignty claims, fragmented national identities, geopolitical considerations, and with that being said, the intrusive system serve as a critical mechanism in maintaining stability and preventing overt conflict in South China Sea region. Now we move on to chapter B. In chapter B, we'll be focusing more into the anomaly in Southeast Asian maritime. Now, in the maritime region, composed of numerous archipelagic states, faces various security challenges, including territorial disputes, maritime non-traditional security threats such as piracy and illicit activities. Despite these tensions, the region exhibits relative stability without open armed conflict over an extended period. This stability is largely attributed to the intrusive system itself, whereby major powers such as the United States and China and Australia play significant role through multilateral and bilateral arrangement, military intervention, and economic investment. These actions generate a balance of power, and that prevents conflict escalation while maintaining regional cohesion. Nonetheless, persistent security anomalies stem from divergent national interests, fragmented identities, and geopolitical complexities within the maritime domain. The intrusive system therefore functions as a crucial determinant in managing security anomalies and sustaining maritime stability in Southeast Asia. Last, in this chapter, it will be section C. Now, in section C, we'll be discussing about the anomaly in the Southeast Asian mainland. Now, in this section, it's focusing more into the border conflicts and issues of national identity that impact regional stability. The discussion highlights the persistence of territorial disputes and fragmented national identities, which constitute significant sources of insecurity and potential conflict among mainland countries. The implication of the intrusive system in this context involve the strategic involvement of extra-regional powers. This is the keyword, extra-regional powers, which is this intrusive power itself, that influence the security dynamics of the mainland. This involvement contributes to both deterrence and complexity in regional security. As external actors, interests intersect with local conflict and sovereignty issues. While the intrusive system helps prevent large-scale wars by balancing power and promoting diplomacy, it also introduces layers of geopolitical competition that can exacerbate internal tensions and challenge ASEAN's cohesion. In this book, we are focusing more into Asia, and this whole book actually accommodate the concept of with intrusive power or with intrusive system, it could also create stability because the influence of the superpower country could create a deterrence effect, and with that deterrence effect, country when they want to conduct their political activity, they will think twice. Because they think twice, there's still no open war under right now in the Asia region, especially about the crisis in South China Sea, in Southeast Asia, and also in the mainland of Asia. That's the thing. And that is why it is very important if we want to talk about the intrusive system itself, we need to understand the core value of intrusive system is actually a balance of power. Thank you.